everybody, and welcome to the news from the ANU Medical School from today, the 26th of June 2020. So let's get to last week's quiz. The three gentlemen that I showed you were, of course, Edward Jenner, Louis Pasteur, and Emil von Behring. And what they had in common, they're all credited with inventing vaccines. Edward Jenner, smallpox vaccine; Louis Pasteur, anthrax and rabies; and Emil von Behring, diphtheria. However, there is more to those three gentlemen. As it turns out, all three, although credited to these vaccines, really lent very heavily on some colleagues. So Jesti and others were really involved in developing the smallpox vaccine, Toussaint and anthrax, and Paul Ehrlich, diphtheria. All three have a link to Australia. Jenner lived in Berkeley. The Berkeley estate or suburb in Illawarra is named after Berkeley, where Jenner grew up. Pasteur's assistants Loire and Germont came to Australia in the 1880s and by chance got involved in the control of anthrax. And Van Behring, well, the company CSL Behring is part of Australia CSL and named in part after Emil von Behring. Fast finger this week were Isabella McGovern and Claire Wardle. The answers came in within seconds of each other. And this best answer, very detailed answer, the link to Australia, answer was given to me by Ashley Watson. So congratulations to the winners. So here's this week's quiz. What I would like to know is, what's this molecule here behind me? When was it discovered? Who discovered it? What are the benefits? Particularly, are there? And what, if there are, the adverse effects of this molecule? Send in your answers and I'll announce next week's winner. So as you know, last week ANU employees were asked to vote whether the 2% increase that we were entitled to according to the ANU Enterprise Agreement should be deferred by a year, as well as the 2021 pay increase. And it seems that the majority, a small majority, nevertheless a majority, voted yes to this deferral, which really means that ANU is saving $6.75 million until December this year and $13.5 million within a 12-month period for next year. It is not quite clear yet what the effects on the budget savings are for the school. I'm sure that'll all be made clearer to us in the very near future. On the budget, as I have outlined previously, the college will need to make $8.3 million savings based on last year's expenditure in this year's staffing costs. And Katrina Chappell and I have spent many hours over the last few weeks poring over our budget and have achieved a significant saving, probably about $3 million or so against the budget, by delaying filling vacant positions and equipment, strategic funds, and so on and so on. We have also emailed those of you who have a large leave load, and thank you for getting back to us and seeing whether you can reduce your leave, which I think is really important for your well-being anyway. The voluntary separation is something that is discussed and offered by ANU, so again, if you want to talk to us, please do so. And what Katrina and I will be doing next is developing a budget for 2021. We probably won't know what our budget for 2021 is until about September, October or so, but we need your help to look at what we need next year and what we may be able to defer to possibly even the following year. These are really difficult times. I will meet with some target staff over the next few weeks or so and explain exactly which ones of their suggestions to save this year or defer expenses till next year we've been able to use, and what the effect is on our teaching and our research. As you can imagine, the leadership group and the senior management group at ANU are discussing the budget as well, and there was a leadership group meeting this morning where we were informed about what ANU is doing around the budget, and they have really formed 3 work streams around expenditure, and they are aiming to implement immediate liquidity measures, control expenditure, and to improve financial performance. The next steps will be that all colleges will have to propose their spendings for this year until the end of December. By the 3rd of July, this will be then, of course, looked at by ANU, and the reporting of where ANU stands will be made apparent to us in early August. The other topics, of course, that are hotly debated are how do we raise revenue, particularly through global recruitment campaigning. And there's a great plan that ANU has in place to ensure that next year's students, international students, are attracted, but that they also have a good learning experience. And another topic that's come off recently is to think about whether there are certain services that can be shared across ANU. And these were about marketing or recruitment support, research business support, teaching support, and operational support. And some ideas were collated today, and I'm sure that'll come out through the Vice-Chancellor's blog at a later stage, because there were some really good thoughts put forward. Now, as you know, the medical school has been able to secure some funding for all of our Year 3 students to do the mental health first aid course. We now have received the vouchers, and all of the Year 3 students should be sent an email with an invitation. It is a voluntary course, you don't have to do this, but we believe that this would be very helpful to you and your peers in your future to do this course. We will require some feedback after completion. If you're not really sure what this is about or are not quite clear how to get onto the course, have any questions, please email Dr. Nicola Skembry, or Welfare Academic. We've also been in contact with student accommodation. As you may be aware, students would really have to book their accommodation for a whole semester, yet our Phase 1 students won't be returning until the middle or the end of the semester. And through the negotiations, we've been able to secure the option for our students to get a 5-week accommodation lease rather than for the whole semester. Now, clearly for the accommodation, the students that would require a booking for the whole semester take precedence, but we believe that it is quite likely that all others will get a short-term lease as well. So the students should have submitted their application for semester 2 and should have been offered a 5-week contract starting on the 21st of the 9th. If you haven't received the contract yet or have any questions, please contact Dr. Nicola Skembry on that question as well. And as I stated before, I think it is important that we not just talk about the teaching and learning, but really talk about the teams that function behind the scenes. And this week's spotlight is on the student wellbeing team, particularly the year coordinators and the student that were getting together weekly, particularly during the COVID pandemic, to discuss what kind of support students need and talk about a way forward on how students can be better supported in the future. And this wellbeing team is led by Dr. Nikki Skembry, who's the chair of the Student Welfare Committee. But the year coordinators, some who've only been in this role for this year, some for quite a while, and these are Brett Scholz for Year 1, Zanmin Song for Year 2, Dipti Talika and Selena Watchorn for Year 3, and William Wong for Year 4, have really stepped up over the last 3 months and done all this support, all this thinking, emailing, taking phone calls on top of their work. They, as I said, have a committee that meets weekly, and I'm particularly grateful to Sally Lawton, who's the Wellbeing Officer of the Med Student Society, to be part of this team and really inform us also on what the needs of the students are. Congratulations to that team, and thank you very much. In the media this week, again, Peter Collignon was in the Canberra Times and wrote an AFT article, and Sanjaya on Channel 10 News and 7 Breakfast. Upcoming events, this is for staff, so the mid-year faculty meeting will be held end of July on the 30th at 5:30. We'll make this a Zoom meeting. What I'll provide is an update on 2020. And we have invited Professor Ian Anderson, the Deputy Vice-Chancellor Student and University Experience, to welcome him, for him to tell us what he really does. And we will have a panel discussion around the medical school's COVID-19 experience. You should have all got an invitation in your Outlook calendar. Please come along, Zoom in, ask us questions, and it would be great to see as many as possible there. That was all from me for this week. Stay home if you're unwell, as usual. Please maintain your physical distancing, but keep in touch socially. Look after yourself and anybody else. Send us any suggestions. Have a great weekend, and I shall see you next week.